Mm. I don't know what's going on with this thing, man. Oh, man. So we're in the house again tonight. We're back at it again tonight on the Tim Black Show. We got news, content. What's up, Tim Black's Wolfpack? My people, my people, my people, my people, my people. What's up? Come out here and try to do a little something. On a Monday, where's everyone, man? Who's in the chat, man? Anybody chatting? Or y'all being antisocial tonight? I said, is anybody chatting? What's up, my peeps? All right. So they're in the house, informant media. Honestly talking, birding. Birding, okay. Moving up. Black Rose, Juella. Renato, what's up, Renato? Zen Soulful. Renato, the general. How goes premium? Wow, okay. For sales in the building. Peace and blessings. Infamous Eli, Tricky Ricky. Right, Money Green. It is. I guess it depends on where you at in the world, but yeah. Here the money is green, Johnson. Here the money is green. It is green here where I'm at. Who's in the building, man? Say what's up to a brother, man. Holla, 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 holla. One of my favorite Dave Chappelle skits. Holla, 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 can I holla, 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 holla. Okay. If you're new to the show, we cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and black culture right here on this channel. And where the mic is hot, so that means I'm about to get a little animated and, kind of jump out here, knock some people upside their consciousness, try to wake them up a little bit. That's what we do here on the Tim Black Show. We stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Yeah, we do. And we try to do our best to call it straight. We do not ride for parties. We ride for the people. I said we ride for the people. And we do this on the show. Man, what's up, my people, man? The Tim Black Wolfpack is in the house. My VIPs are here. Check this out, man. The Tim Black Wolfpack crew, the Tim Black VIP list, these are people that support independent media. They support it with their dollars and their words, and they share our content, and they try to build something. We're trying to build a community, and we've been doing this for a minute, man. This is crazy, man. I got a notification today when I went into my YouTube studio that says, happy 12th year. This is the 12th year of this particular channel. Now, I had another channel. I still have it. Don't post to it often, but this is not my original channel. I had another channel a couple years before I had this one. So I thought that was dope. 12 years on this channel, Johnson. We got people telling me, we got people out here doing content that are barely 12 years old. I tell them, man, I've been doing content half as long as you've been alive. Young Daniel's son. So it is what it is. Where are the people at, man? That's what I got to know, man. I got to know where the people are so we can do the thing, man. It's been a tricky day. It's tricky to be Rickey, to be Rickey, Smiley. It's tricky. It's tricky. Tricky. So tonight we're gonna cover Tricky Ricky Smiley trying to scare black folks. The LA ice raids. Not the ice capades, the ice raids. And yeah, we're just gonna get into some basic stuff, man. We're gonna call it out. Someone said, Tim, talk about the floods, my brother. Talk about the floods. I don't know, man. What I'm gonna say? Well, it's a tragedy, fam. It's a damn tragedy. I do not know the death toll on the floods, but I know there's some families that have been devastated. Why are they blaming Trump for the floods? What did Trump do that you say caused the flood? Jesus Christ, man, Trump better be careful, man. He get out of bed tomorrow. They're gonna blame him for a solar eclipse. Chickens not mass producing or reproducing. Their favorite show getting canceled on Amazon Prime. They blame him for everything. What didn't he do? It's almost as if people believe all bad things in the world didn't start till Trump got elected. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. You know, man, I'm believing now, man. It's just, I don't know if we can be saved. I don't know. I'm not so certain we can be saved, Johnson. If it's going, look, if we got to rely on the dumbest among us, we'll never be saved. Man, I did a full takedown of Amanda Seales yesterday. Let me just tell you how my day went. So I did a video on Amanda Seales, and I gotta admit, I got a little heated. Amanda Seales is a brain dead moron. She's a, she is. This because somebody gets under your nerves, yeah? I hate when I see somebody trying to scare black people using 150-year-old Dred Scott rules. We're going to get into that a little bit more later. But she said a bunch of scaremonger, fearmonger, hateful Democratic shield talking points. A rack of them is secession. Gaslighting, talking down to people, the whole nine. And all I said was, she just sit down with her hair extensions because they must be cutting off oxygen to her brain or something. I had this sister who I'm fighting for. This is why you can't fight for everybody. The only thing this sister commented, she made a comment, she said, yeah, I don't much care for Amanda Seales, but why you have to say something about her hair extensions? Everybody wear hair extensions. You know, man, I say what I see. You know what I'm saying? I say what's on my mind at the time. I don't have no filter. And she was wearing a pink hat with some bunny feet in them. I would have talked about that. No, I talked about what I saw in the frame of the picture, in the frame of her video. But it's problematic, sister. And when you got a sister sitting up there gaslighting you with every scare tactic known to man, trying to defend people that aren't even citizens of this country, and to do so, she tries to throw black people under the bus and say, you better be afraid, you next, black people, that you would be more offended that I said something about this woman's hair extensions. The fact that that's the only thing you had a real problem with, and it was about me, not the person trying to scare all the black people. All the black people telling you you could be thrown back into slaves. But that's what you had an issue with. You know why? Because you got hair extensions. Ain't nobody stupid. It's a sore spot because you got them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most selfish, goofy shit. You understand what I'm saying? You realize how goofy and self-centered that is? You don't give a damn because it resembles you? Somebody said something about your hair extensions in one time. So you got trauma around people talking about anybody with hair extensions. If you don't sit your goofy ass down. This woman gaslighting all of black America on some BS. And the only thing you could comment on The only thing you took real issue with was me saying, sit down with your hair extension wearing ass. That was it. That was all. Yeah, man, we got problems, man. We got problems. We don't even know who's fighting for us, who's fighting against us. Even when they're in your face telling you, be afraid. Slave master coming to get you again. Better vote Democrat. Your goofy ass will overlook that and defend her. All because I said something about hair extension. And you're going to tell me to do better. Do better, Tim Black. You ain't tell her to do shit. Didn't say nothing to her. 6 minutes of gaslighting, throwing black people under the bus, knowing damn well we ain't no damn immigrants. But you ain't have a crossword for her. Your cross puzzle here itself. Lowest on the totem pole ass self. Nah, man, I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to be nice. F nice. Nice is what got us in this position. Being too damn nice. Can't be nice with corrupt people. Can't be nice with sellouts. Can't be nice with these people gaslighting us to score points with the Democrats. You can't be nice with them. I refuse. You can be nice to them. Go be nice to them on your page. Go be nice to them on your YouTube channel that you spent a decade building up. Go be nice with them over there. Go ahead. Go on over there, be nice with them. You're nice with your nice ass. Go over there with your nice scared ass. Go on over there. I'm going to keep doing what I do. You keep doing what you do. And with that being said, welcome back to the Tim Black Show. We don't pull no punches over here, Johnson. I'm sorry. They're going to all catch heat. It's going to be what it's going to be, man. Oh, you got to leave? I understand. Thin-skinned people best not stay. That's right. You're going to be apologizing for the corrupt sellouts. You're going to choose the corrupt sellouts over your guy, Uncle Tim? For real? That's what we're doing? Oh, because you feel insecure about your hairstyle? Lady, I don't even have hair. If you call somebody a bald-head fool, just because I'm bald-headed, I wouldn't be mad at you, hold that against you. What I got to do with that bald-head fool? I'm a bald-head genius. But see, when you self-conscious like that, where because you got something, I can't say nothing about nobody else who got it, or I'm talking about you. I don't even know you. They're going to tell me we got to do better. No, you do better. You do better, and go ahead and take them hush puppies. Hit them Nikes on down the road, Sam. Slim. Big Slim. Go on that way. I'm trying to tell you, I'm a teeth chipper. It's equal time. Look, I'm equal opportunity with these hands. These verbal hands, anybody can get them. Oh. Anybody can get these hands, Johnson. Even you. Lucky I don't know your screen name. I'll tear you up. I'm trying to tell you, lady, I'm too old. I'm too old to mince words. I ain't going to act like I like you if I don't. And whatever I see, I'm getting. And when you be up here lying, when someone's up here lying to my people, I'm going for them. Go be nice elsewhere. I feel you. You want them kumbaya assholes. Go over there and kumbaya. Over here, we rat-a-tan-tan. Over here, we rat-a-tan-tan. Over here, we booka-booka-booka. I'll tell you, man, I ain't right, man. I got problems, man. My problems are the Democratic Party shields. I know, man, I know. Tim Black, darn it, Tim Black. Why you gotta be that way, Tim Black? Why, Tim Black? All right, guys. I wanna get to the show at some point. Can I get to this? I'm gonna get to the show. Tim Black takes a long time to get into the show. You know what, Johnson? This is the show. Yeah, baby. Man, we ain't doing nothing but having a conversation. That's all we doing. I ain't gonna do no rabbit tricks. What you waiting for? Some levitation? What's supposed to happen? The show already started. And I'm saying, man, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Hey, folks, Ali Sadiq is one funny dude, man. I said Ali Sadiq is one funny dude, man. I was watching some Ali Sadiq and I was like, I didn't realize he was this funny. Ali Sadiq is hilarious. Certified hilarious, man. When this happened? When Ali Sadiq get hilarious, man? I didn't know he was that funny. All right, anyway. I recommend Ali Sadiq for your next bar mitzvah. All right, Johnson, let's get off into some content, man. What's going on here? Can we get a little V? I thought this was a good, I thought things, now I'm feeling uncomfortable. I don't know why I did this. Should just throw on a hoodie, man, or something. Y'all ready to go? Let's go, man. Let's do it. Let's get into a story while we're still youngish. Yeah. All right, Johnson.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'm not blaming the FBI director, Kash Patel, or the deputy director, Dan Bongino. I think that layer beneath them, that's part of what we like to call the deep state, has taken this bull by the horns, and they've probably destroyed information. Look at what the CIA did in 1975 after Congress ordered that it release all of its files related to an operation called MK Ultra. The director of the CIA went back to headquarters and ordered everything to be destroyed. And in the end, only about 20% of the documents survived. We're still learning about the FBI's operations against Martin Luther King 55 years after the fact. So now we're supposed to believe that everybody's telling the truth.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
You're supposed to believe that because they're telling you to believe it. And yeah, man, I think it's kind of obvious that there's some foolery at hand. Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious that there's some chicanery at hand, Johnson. I think only morons would believe that there were no documents that contain names, that there's no insurance policy, that Epstein had absolutely nothing of value that could be shared in order to ensnare people at all. I do not believe this, folks. I do not believe it. I believe that there has been a suppression of evidence, a suppression of the facts. Because I don't believe you do something like he's been doing for that long a period of time and you ain't got some pictures and some stories to tell. And I don't believe it all just slipped by. And I don't believe Pam Bondi when she say, well, we still look at that stuff. You still deleting stuff. How many people say they still deleting stuff? Say, man, I was born at night, not last night. I've been on this earth too long to believe them type of lies. What kind of person would I be if I said I believed that, man, if I went along with that nonsense? Come on, Johnson, we know what time it is. People in the powerful people attended, as the powerful people attend Diddy's parties. Powerful people attended the Epstein Island. They had to make that go away. Now, you can go ahead and be a fool if you want. We got a lot of those. There's always room for fools. But come on, Johnson. Come on now. If the tape was running, the tape was running. I don't believe it. I do not believe that nothing came out, man. I do not believe it. Not for a second. But I got to tell you, it's kind of important. See, I believe just like the Democrats need to wake up, so do the Republicans. Yeah, man. Republicans need to pull their heads out of their butt cheeks, to unhinge their heads from out of between their butt cheeks and wake up and smell the coffee that Trump ain't as free as you think he is. No, he ain't as free as you think he is, nor is he as forthcoming as you want to believe he is. In fact, there are people that believe that Trump is untouchable. This is nonsense. These people are right up there with Democrats who believe dumb shit about Obama. They believe Obama could walk on water. Neither one of them are Jesus, and neither one was sent by God to do anything. These are people, human beings, both corrupt in their own ways. And I just think that anybody who can't wrap their head around that, if you can't accept that, then there ain't much to talk about. You're goofy. Yeah, man, just because I run the Democrats in the ground doesn't mean I believe in fairy tales. I mean, Democrats have been lying specifically to black people for 70-something years and have been very successful at it. So I don't think you can have a whole bunch of objectives and goals, right? So I can't say I want to do all things at all times. But one of my primary things is getting black Americans to stop voting Democrat automatically like we have no other options. We got to start holding them accountable and choosing who we vote for, who we support, who we canvass for, who we donate to, who we activate for, all these things. We got to start considering being smarter about it. But that does not mean I want you to go be a Republican and fall in line with goofiness. Lie to yourself to pretend. There is no way that Epstein didn't have some files on some stuff. Come on, man. What's funny is we got people that's basically ran on this, uncovering, and now they got to walk everything back and pretend. Now they got to pretend that what's going on ain't going on. You know what I'm saying? I find it hilarious. You know, you guys, I brushing my for men. You know what I'm saying? I got brushed it in. What am I hiding for, man? Come on now. So we just friends talking, man. We friends having a conversation. Why I gotta put on airs for you? So I know we close, man. We tight. Ain't gonna lie to you, Craig. So anyway, y'all put in the comment section what you think, man. Who's talking to me, man? Who's talking about the Epstein situation? There it is. M. City King says, to run from one plantation to another. Yeah, I know, to run to another one. You know, but give it up for that, man. Drum. It reminded me of some Wile E. Coyote scene. I think it was Wile E. Coyote, or maybe it was Foghorn Leghorn. It was an old ass cartoon. I'm trying to remember who it was, but anyway. Cartoon character was very happy at first because he thought he got away with something. And then when the lights came on, he was sitting around a Doberman, I think it was, some dog, big pit bull or something. His laugh turned to, what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're running from one plantation to another one, you be celebrating as you run. Yeah, we're free. We're free. We're free. And gets to the other plantation, be like, uh-oh. We didn't got to use the term plantation. You know what I'm saying? You going from you jumped out the oven into the fryer. They both here to cook you. You know what I'm saying? They're both here to cook you. So we gotta be smarter than that, man. Buck said, stay out of the chat, Tim. Nah, you throw these assholes out. Kick them out, Buck. Tell them to get to stepping. Why do we participate in a system that was never meant for us? What would you have us do? How's not participating? You know something, Truck? You bring up a good point. But here's my response, Truck. Do you realize half of America don't vote as is? You do realize that. Okay. You're on a politics channel, right? I don't just talk about Drake's new album. You know what I'm saying? I don't just talk about Drake's new album. Kendrick Lamar, is he the greatest, most gifted? I'm not just going to talk about, oh my God, what they say about Nas. I think you probably saw enough videos about the Essence Fest. Though I did mean to cover that yesterday. I meant to. Time got away from me. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, there are other things that are important, Truck You. Feel free to go run into a log cabin. Feel free to unattach from the grid. Go move into a desolate area in the rural mountains somewhere. And cut off your Wi-Fi. Feel free to do that. But the rest of us, some of us are going to participate in the world around us. In the outside chance that maybe some of it has an impact something. But yeah, there's always room to say, what's the point of doing anything? I get it. I definitely can't influence you to do either or, but I can tell you, if you don't like politics, you don't care for politics, probably don't make much sense to watch a show that focuses on politics and then show up and say, hey, why should we care? There's really no reason if you don't care already. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's a waste of time to try to tell somebody why they should get up and walk around to let their blood circulate if they don't believe that. It's no reason, why would you want to argue with someone's preference of content? That's goofy. I'm not going to do it, man. I have enough, I got enough work on my hands dealing with people that actually do believe that they want to do something about this situation, that actually do want to participate in the world. The system was never meant for us. Hey, man, to be honest with you, it was meant for land-owning rich white people. It wasn't meant for poor whites either. A lot of people it wasn't meant for. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant for women. You know what I'm saying? None of this was. But then if we go based on what the country was meant for back in 1776, well, wouldn't be no immigrants here. Well, none of the new arrivals. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot different. So yeah, we can't. I don't subscribe to that type of negative outlook on the world. But if you do, man, I won't argue with you. I just say we don't have much in common in that regard. Yeah. Support independent media where we do care about these things and we talk about them live here on the Tim Black Show. Some people find a little bit of solace. I'm not going to say it saves the whales, but some people find it refreshing to have somebody take on the Democrats and the Republicans, try to do so without being beholden to either one. Of course, I have biases. I don't know why people don't believe that they have biases. People say, I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican, but you got biases. Come on, man. You got biases. Just like I have a bias. I tell you, I'm a Democratic Party hater. Have you helped candidates run for office? Maybe if you spent 6 or 7 years working with candidates, believing in certain candidates only to have them stab you in the back, believing in certain progressive politics only to have them stab you in the back, maybe you feel similar to me. But yeah, I've had certain experiences that have led me this direction. But people love to say, I'm not a Republican or I'm not a Democrat. Man, but you have biases. If you can't admit you have biases, like I'm up front, I'm a Democratic Party hater, but I'm not telling you to become a Republican. I'm saying become independent. That's what I'm telling you. We got people that say I'm not a Republican or I'm not a Democrat, but then they really hate Trump. They hate Trump with a viciousness that is outside. It's like, it's way bigger than it should be. I mean, if you hate Trump, if you don't hate Biden and Obama with the same ferociousness, you got a problem. Because Obama and Biden locked up more black people than Trump ever could even imagine to lock up, even though they keep saying Trump's a racist. Trump wasn't writing them bills that was locking us up and throwing away the key. That was Biden. As a black person, how could you say some shit like that? right? It's like saying you're a feminist, but then worshiping someone who, basically unalived women, willy-nilly. It's crazy, right? Okay. Then how can you say you can't stand Trump and then support because, he bombed Iran or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then you got a problem. You don't have the same amount of ferociousness about Obama that oversaw the dropping of 26,000 bombs in one term, set records, took us to several wars. And that had the same ferocious, angry, like doomsday scenario about Obama. And then he got a Peace Prize for the shit. And you don't see the corruption there? Like, look, Trump, I agree, man, there's a lot to complain about, but think about what I'm saying here. Obama dropped more bombs in his single term. He dropped bombs till we ran out of bombs, right? He took us to war, right? Afghanistan, he continued bombing. Yemen, Somalia, these things he did, right? We know he did these things. How can people overlook that? Not only did they overlook it, they gave him a prize, a Nobel Peace Prize. You understand what I'm saying to you? You get what I'm saying? Which one you think is more dangerous, or what's more dangerous? Which party was more corrupt? How did the Democrats pull that shit off? Can the Republicans pull off similar? See, these are the reasons why I come up with the way I do. So what bothers me, fam, is there are people that some people are racist and don't know it. They listen to Tim Black, they listen to me talk. They don't think I've done any research to form the conclusion. They just out of hand dismiss it and say they know more, they know better. They don't consider I feel the way I feel based on those facts I just laid out for you. Because they look at me and they think I can't possibly even know that shit. That's part of my problems with progressives. Yeah. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Let's go to the next topic. That being said, thank you, Black Mama, for the reminder. We got more, Johnson. We do have more. Now, we were supposed to talk about Epstein, but it's fine, we didn't. Now, what we have here, have a little thing called an ice raid on a little place called MacArthur. On July 7th, a significant immigration enforcement operation took place at MacArthur Park. Those are ICE agents. They walking fast, too. Now, they sped that up. Now, this is a Los Angeles Westlake District Park. MacArthur Park is in Los Angeles Westlake District, a neighborhood with a large immigration population. A large immigrant population. That's who lives there. Okay, so that's where they did the raid there, right? Okay. And people were upset because they're like, what you doing coming through here trying to uphold federal law? How dare you come here in our park and start trouble with our good migrants, immigrants?
I am going to say.
Mayor Bass, I need to get my phone and we're departing.
Okay. Aaron Bass.
Mayor Bass.
Oh my
Any
God.
comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now.
I wonder if she's talking about the illegal, undocumented immigrants. I got a feeling she's not talking about the illegal, undocumented immigrants. She's talking about the actual authorities that are there to remove the illegal, undocumented immigrants. That's funny, man. They need to leave right now. You mean the people that are here that should not be here in the country? No, they can stay. You who are trying to uphold the laws should leave right now. You're a disgrace. Funny, man. It's funny. It's hilarious, man. Any other time I'd be right, but not now.
To leave because this is unacceptable.
Who did you speak
Just
with?
wait and see.
Mayor Bass,
They will be leaving soon.
Mayor Bass, who did you speak with on the phone just now? Who did you speak with on the phone?
They have custody.
Wow.
MacArthur Park is the Ellis Island of the West Coast. It was chosen as this administration's latest target precisely because of who lives there and what it represents.
Yeah, it's the Ellis Island. See, here's the thing about Ellis Island, though. That was, legal migration. They were coming there and went directly in the checkpoint. They went in and registered. Right? Isn't that right? I don't know, man. It was a long time ago, but I do believe Ellis Island was like an official port of entry. Not on some boat put together with popsicle sticks. I don't know, man. It was a sanctioned way to try. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't consider it an Ellis Island. You know, my people didn't come in via Ellis Island, but a lot of people did. Let's keep going.
Resilience, diversity, and the American dream. It is no coincidence that the president would target a place that so clearly embodies the values he has spent his time in office trying to destroy.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Or you can look at it like this is where the bad people are. The undocumented folks, this is where they are. And that's probably where you should go if you're trying to pick up those people that should not be here. Like if you were going to, people, I don't know if you want to go to bank robbers and it's a bank robbers training ground where the bank robbers hang out. You probably go to that place. I'm just saying that's what to do, right? I mean, in the black neighborhood, in the black community, if you got a smokehouse, back in the day, I grew up in the crack era, you know what I'm saying? The late 80s, early 90s. They went to the house. They hit the house. They call it the trap. Because it's a trap. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't get it? That's because they don't even believe being undocumented in America is illegal. They don't believe that.
And now a call to all electeds and all people all across the country, from local cities, municipalities, jurisdictions, aldermen, governors, everybody. Please understand that what's happening here in the city of Los Angeles, we are the canary in the coal mine.
What's that? What you mean by that, Dora? What you mean? What's she saying, Johnson? I'm about to get upset. You about to have me go ham a lamb a lamb. Ham a lamb a lamb on you. Hold on. What you talking about here, Dora?
What you see happening in MacArthur Park is coming to you. $140 billion new budget for ICE. What do you think that's going to do?
That's going to pick all y'all asses up. That's what that's going to do. It's going to pick you all up and send you up out of here. Okay, that's what it's supposed to do. To get the people, not send them to, remove them from the United States. Sort of like what's going on in Mexico where they're removing Americans right now with force. That's what they're going to do. Enlighten me. What else is going to happen?
That's going to transport what's happening here in our neighborhoods to your front doorstep. So wake up.
Not front doorsteps. I don't think so. But then again, maybe they should. We got a heavy illegal, undocumented issue here in Prince George's, near where I'm at. I'm near Prince George's County. And we got a lot of that. And then over like Fairfax, Virginia, Northern Virginia area, Riverdale, Maryland area. Yeah, we need you. Where is it at? Yeah, stop, look, man. Don't play with me, Dora. I'm you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with ICE. I did when I believed in the propaganda. Then when I started to realize, hey, I'm black and we got our own ICE. It's called the cops. I said, hold on a second, man. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Dora? This ain't no new condition for black people. Oh, Tim, everything's not about you. Well, okay, fine. But I look at it from a black lens. Everything I do is through the eyes of a black man. Sorry, I'm not white. So when I look at something, I look at it from the vision of me being me. The perception of the reality of my perception, the perception of my reality is that we deal with this all day, every day, twice on Sunday, Johnson. But Dora the Explorer here, Dora the Explorer is very upset.
It's not happening by accident. So please, please watch what's happening. Please support Los Angeles. Please support California. But also, we need to work together to fix.
Help people become documented. So that they have, man, why aren't any of these people talking about the push to get people documented, to get people through the process the correct way so they can stop driving down the cost of labor? How about that? And had them stop Bigfooting black people on these work sites. See, I got a problem. We got some cowards in the Democratic Party that don't want to call a thing a thing. We have large groups of Hispanics, migrants coming to this country, taking over industries because they're workers who will be hired over us because they'll work for less money. Then when they get in, they do their best to sabotage the black people in those jobs to move their cousins and their nephews in. The companies are just as bad. The companies are even worse because they are making it a commitment to hiring only those who speak Spanish, and then saying that's a requirement of being employed is to be a Spanish speaker, to be bilingual, which immediately discriminates against black Americans because of the racial ethnic groups we speak Spanish the least. So this is a problem. So when I got the shields of the Democratic Party, when I got these black faces in high places who are denying the truth of reality for black Americans, who will not champion for black Americans. Why? Because their money, just like conservatives, a lot of the conservative blacks, their money is held in white hands. Same thing happens with elite blacks. Their money is handled in white hands too, who are oblivious and don't care about what's going on with poor. They don't care about poor white people, let alone poor black people. They don't care about working class white people, let alone working class black people. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, these are the things we got to address, Dora. And your people don't want to address it. You should be talking about making this system fair for everybody. You just want it fair for you. You don't care how it impacts us. And that's why I have a problem. That's what my issue is. And I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if it bothers you. I don't care if it gets your head tight. I don't care if it makes you upset. I do not give a damn. Because somebody's got to say it. Someone's got to address it. Let's keep going.
Figure out how to make sure that authoritarianism doesn't take over our country.
It is not authoritarianism to carry out the laws on the books. Okay? That is not authoritarianism. I'm tired of these morons making everything seem like it is the return of the Nazi Germany party or whatever. It is not Hitler-esque to carry out the laws that are on the books when it comes to immigration. It is not. I would also like to point out to people that there has been some lies that are being told right now, folks. And one of those lies that are being told is that what's happening with ICE is much different than what happens with the police. Jesus Christ, what was that? God forsaken. I was just a current bass, walking around on his phone.
Oh, I like him. Hey, I'll take back what I said to your boys over there, all right? This is for you.
Well, I call it a political stunt. If you want to call it a dog and pony show, go right ahead. Same thing.
With this going on for more than a month now, are you starting to feel like you're not even in control of the situation, or is there a feeling of helplessness?
No, I will never feel helpless, and I don't think anybody here feels helpless. That's not in our DNA. We're going to continue fighting.
Imagine fighting to be in a country without being a citizen of the country. Imagine that. That's crazy. Just think about it for a second. Imagine going to somebody's house and then fighting to stay when you haven't been invited in and haven't been formally welcomed into the country. Imagine that. Imagine thinking you own this country, that you can come do whatever you want to do. Imagine being a party that allows that are fighting for that to happen. And we all know the reasons why they fight for it to happen, Johnson. Because they want them to vote to keep them in power. That's what it's all about.
You're going to go to work? Mayor Bass, he's calling for you to get used to it. What is your...
I'm not going to get used to it. I'm not going to get used to it because last I checked, I was elected to be mayor of the city. That did not include a federal takeover. So either you believe in democracy or you don't.
Didn't he say those words to you on the phone?
Next on deck.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I find it funny, man. Does you think current Bass Kid and black people are being displaced by this shit? Nah, not at all, man. Not at all. Yeah, man. Listen. I wanna bring up a couple things with you here. Let's see if we can get to some of this, man. Let's. Yeah, there's this thing called police raids, guys. Are we okay here? Hope everything's okay. Something just happened. I don't know what it was. Oh, the day. Let's put this up. Where's that thing? Here we go. Monday Mayhem. The day is Monday Mayhem, right? Well, now it's Tuesday, but you know, it's already past midnight. Goodness gracious. We're okay, guys. We're okay with sound and everything's okay. Okay. Check this out, guys. I want people to be reminded that in America we have all types of raids. We have raid for roaches. We have raids, panty raids. Something we used to do at college dorms back in the Porky's days, Animal House type days, and now we have what's called as ICE raids. Well, if there's another raid, or you may be familiar with it, it's called police raids or SWAT raids. Guess what? They still happen. SWAT raids still happen. You know what? SWAT raids happen a lot more than ICE raids. Yeah, I just want to remind my black folks who are climbing a river like the Nile River over ICE raids. I want to remind you, there's another form of raids that's been happening, that happens a lot more often, results in a lot more deaths. It happens to us all the damn time. I just want to point that out. I don't want to interrupt your pearl clutching and eyes ringing and tear flowing for undocumented people being taken or sent back to their own country. You know, we don't have a place to go back to. There are approximately 45,000 to 80,000 SWAT raids annually in the U.S. Yeah, I guess we don't care about those because, you know, it doesn't contain non-citizens. So we don't give a shit about those, Tim Black, because we don't care about what happens to American citizens, because the Democrats told us, because we drank the Kool-Aid. Why would we care about Americans? Ew, icky Americans. This equals about 124 violent paramilitary raids happening in homes every day. Folks, you are focused on Karen Bass's raid at MacArthur in LA, at MacArthur Park. This one raid, I get it, scary. Guess what? Nobody even got picked up. But every day, there are approximately 124 paramilitary raids that happen in the United States every damn day. SWAT deployment has increased dramatically from 3,000 raids in the early 1980s to 30,000 in 1996, then to 50,000 in 2005. I just want you to wrap your head around the numbers I'm talking about. And these people aren't getting deported. They're going to jail. To jail. No-knock warrants specifically increased from 3,081 to 60 to 70,000 annually by 2010. Some of you may recall that Breonna Taylor was one of those high-profile raids that resulted in the death of Breonna Taylor in her home, minding her own damn business. We're not hearing about that when it comes to ICE raids, are we? Because typically, they don't result in anybody's injury. But still, for some reason, spooky, scary, skinny, end of days must be the birth of what is it? Authoritarianism. Folks, I just want you to wrap your head around the lunacy, the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. Police killed over 1,250 people in 2024. The highest number on record, with only 13 days that year when police did not kill somebody. From 2010 to 2016, at least 81 civilians and 13 officers died during SWAT raids. SWAT raids, not ICE raids, goofy. SWAT. The ACLU included documented cases including a young mother shot and killed with her infant in her arms, a grandfather killed watching baseball in his pajamas, and a toddler severely burned by a flashbang grenade in his crib. It wasn't an ICE raid, so it probably didn't make the news because it wasn't about migrants. About just U.S. citizens. Tax dollars at work. ICE arrested 66,000 people in Trump's first 100 days. They removed about 65,000 aliens. ICE arrested increased 627% under Trump. 20,000 arrested in a single month, compared to 33,000 total for all of 2024 under Biden. So yes, he has increased ICE arrests. That's about 3,000 arrests per day. But more than 75% of people booked into ICE custody in fiscal 2025, less than 10% were convicted of serious crimes like murder, assault, robbery, or rape. So that's true. These things are true. These are just facts. It's not about being on either side of it, but I just want to put it in perspective. And the number of people that are put into ICE detention without criminal convictions have doubled. But here's the thing. They are still being deported. Because they're here undocumented. Both operations involve tens of thousands of raids annually, but SWAT raids significantly outnumber ICE raids. Police raids result in hundreds of deaths annually. Hundreds. While ICE raids focus on detention rather than lethal force. In fact, I'm seeing undocumented immigrants lose their shit just seeing a gun. But they're not the ones who have the paramilitary coming in actually shooting anybody. No, that's reserved for us U.S. citizens. SWAT raids are supposed to target drug suspects, but often for minor offenses, and frequently target wrong addresses and find no contraband. ICE raids increasingly target immigrants, and those are immigrants, and most of those immigrants that are targeted are undocumented. Unlike SWAT raids, which go to wrong addresses all the time. Both create climates of fear in targeted communities, with ICE raids disrupting life. Police SWAT raids often end life. So what would you rather have, your life disrupted or not have a life to be disrupted? I'm just asking, because a lot of the pearl clutching are about people's lives being disrupted in a place they're not documented to even be at. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I want you to wrap your head around the hypocrisy of the matter. I'm not here to make it seem like ICE raids are no big deal. They're a big deal, particularly if it's happened to you. But I am trying to give you some perspective outside of just the ICE raids. So me, being a black man from a working class background, meaning ain't no trust accounts over here. My friends went to high school, some got GEDs, some went to community college, others joined the service with hopes of building a life for themselves. Growing up in the era that I grew up in, late 80s, early 90s, watching raids occur a lot. A lot more damaging, a lot more detrimental with the sanctity of life happening with those SWAT raids I'm telling you about. Those SWAT raids only increased, they only became more frequent. They didn't stop in the 90s. We just stopped talking about them because it's not novel, it's not interesting. This is the flavor of the day. Doesn't mean it's the only flavor that's being offered. You understand what I'm saying? So when I got Democrats, Congress people making a humongous deal out of ICE raids, it's a slap in the face to people that are dealing with raids of all kinds that occur every day in this country. We have Congress people that are paid to do the bidding of their constituents, and what they're doing, they're driving past prisons full of American citizens who are mostly there because they can't make bail, and driving to a detention center to make sure everybody okay. And drive by 3 prisons that house American citizens and won't stop to even wave. But then they go stand in front of a camera at a detention center for ICE like they're there to save the whales. And I'm saying it's a hypocrisy. It is garbage. And we see through it. This, my friend, will not go it won't go unchallenged on this channel. These are one of the reasons, one of the issues that I have with the Democratic Party is the theatrical nature of the party. This is what they do. They put on the show. They all want to be Hollywood actors and actresses. That's all they want to be is actors. And that they're acting like what they're doing is effective. It is not. They should focus their time on getting these undocumented people documented. All right. Next.
With Tim Black.
Opening fire on Border Patrol agents comes just days after Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal recently said she gets, quote, inspired when activists obstruct ICE. Does the White House expect Democrats to tone down their rhetoric in light of what we saw today in McAllen, Texas?
We certainly call on Democrats to tone down their rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol agents who, again, are everyday men and women. I would encourage AOC and other Democrats to actually meet with the United States Border Patrol. These are honorable Americans who are just simply trying to do their job to enforce the law. They go home to their families every night just like we all do, and they deserve respect and dignity for trying to enforce our nation's immigration laws and to remove public safety threats from our communities. The White House is aware of the shooting that took place today in Texas, and we are working with the appropriate federal agencies to get to the bottom of what happened.
Next on deck.
You know, I do want to point this out, though. I got to say this, Johnson. Yeah, let's not say it's all about the Congress people that are exasperating things that, you know what I'm saying? Let's not do that. You know? Yeah, I know. You want to say it's all because Democrats are fanning the flames, but Johnson, you know, it's the actual raids themselves that are really like creating this issue. You know, it's AOC, yeah, she's going to shield, and so are the rest of the Democrats, but it's the actual raid itself that's generating the publicity. You know what I'm saying? That's what's generating it. And then it's the coverage of it, which is driving everything. So the coverage of the raids creates the monsoon. It creates the, you know, the momentum that brings out an AOC. We all know they're just rushing to get in front of the camera. That's what politicians do. On both sides of the aisle, they all rush to get out there and be seen. I mean, over the last couple of months, I've learned the names of Democrats I didn't even know existed. All because they've been jumping out to try to make a name for themselves on the backdrop of what's happening. And that's because the media is creating this foundation where they can rise, they can ascend. But you know, it is derived from the raids itself. Trump has accelerated the number of raids. This is a byproduct of that. You can't have one without the other. If you're going to be out here raiding and deporting at the level that Trump has ushered into the first 100 days and beyond, don't say it's just because Democrats are jumping in front of cameras. Yeah. It's because the raids have increased. They have increased. People should at least be honest about that. Now, for one, I know that this is a issue that must be tackled. Black Americans got to be able to stand up and say, yes, you know what? I agree with it. I agree that we need to stop this immigration, right? In a country that hasn't treated us fairly, we don't need the competition from people that will take less money, that are lighter in skin, that these people are going to pick over us anyway because they racist as hell against black people. Can't we just call a thing a thing? We can't keep it real. So they can exploit them because of money. And they're an underclass in that regard. So there's so many incentives for them to pick them over black Americans. It's what they've been doing. And we got to be willing to say that out loud and mean it. That's a problem for us. Now, you would think a party that says they built the party around supporting black Americans. And if it wasn't for black Americans, wouldn't be no Democratic Party. You ain't got no power. Well, then at the same time, they ignore the fact that we're the ones that are fighting over resources. And what communities are these migrants going to? Black communities. A large influx of these new immigrants end up in black communities, battling with us over resources. This is a problem. Send them to Beverly Hills. Send them to the gated communities with the liberals. Send them where the progressive liberals live at. Send them all to their neighborhoods and let them deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? That would make more sense to me. Then and only then can you be the one to truly be bearing the responsibility for this. I'm seeing folks act like this is not an issue, it's an issue. They just don't feel comfortable addressing it. They don't feel comfortable. They love saying America's racist. Okay, so we know America's racist, and that's what the Democrats love, jumping on in front of every camera. You got Jamal Bowman. Oh, racism is making life expectancy short. Okay, Jamal, then why aren't you talking about what's going on with immigration? Why aren't you addressing that? You're not even in office and can't have a backbone. You just see that there's a way for you to build a constituency around immigrants. Yeah, start looking at the districts that these Democrats serve in. Start looking at the makeup, the demographics. And then look at the growth of population among the undocumented in those areas. And then we'll start seeing what's their incentive for being very quiet. Sure, they want to call us xenophobic. Somebody got to fight for black America, man, and you guys are not. You guys are fighting for the Democratic Party. And folks, that ain't the same thing. Let's keep it moving.
With Tim Black.
I'm not trying to scare nobody, but we are in danger. If you haven't been watching the news and checking out everything that's going on.
How are we in danger, Rickey? Like, we weren't in danger last month. We weren't in danger last 2 years. We weren't in danger for 4 years. Why are we in danger now? We weren't in danger before. Do tell, Rickey.
We're in a lot of danger right now. Because
Rickey started off by saying, I'm not here to scare you, but we're in danger. We're in danger, y'all. He said danger 3 times. After he said, I'm not trying to scare you. You know, man, I know there's some of y'all, I get it. The short bus, was a home site for you. You had your name on the seat. I get it. I am not knocking you. I get it. Don't learn as quickly as others. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I get it. If someone says, I'm not here to scare you, and then says danger 3 times in the first 60 seconds, can't you deduce that's the purpose of his video? That don't make sense. If someone came on here and said, I'm not here to turn you on, and then proceeded to say, let me arouse you, let me entice you, you wouldn't understand that. It's just I'm tired of people acting like they don't understand things. Like they don't get it. If you was that dumb, you wouldn't be able to be 60. How you survive in a world where you are that dull? You know, how you make it? Who was opening your bottles for you? Who handles the knives in your apartment or your home? Probably walking around with a screwdriver next to an outlet right now, about to stick it in there. I'm sorry, let's keep going.
The Constitution, the United States Constitution, as we know it, they about to cut all through that. And we are accustomed to having rights, all your rights.
Somebody come get Rickey. He said we are accustomed to having rights. All your rights. Really? Because when I remember Breonna Taylor got shot in their own house. I remember that. Tatiana Jefferson shot in her own house. What rights we talking about? Yeah, I'm saying, I got all these Democrats coming out of the woodwork with these talking points about, you better be careful. They're coming for you next. Just trying to make Black people not lead the Democratic Party while they focus on undocumented people. That's the whole idea. You ain't figured out the scam yet. Rickey Smiley, Amanda Shields. Look, Tricky Smiley, Amanda Shields. They both had the same marching orders. Right? It's not a coincidence that they're talking this way. Their job, one of their initiatives that they have to follow, is they're trying to keep Black people from leaving the Democratic Party while they focus 99% of all their attention on non-citizens. The only way to achieve that is to try to group you in with these people that are going through this so it doesn't become so obvious that they don't give a damn about what happened to you. When was the last time they talked about your problems? Yeah, let me put our PSA out to the Black Americans that are still riding with the Democratic Party. When was the last time the Democratic Party focused on anything that really directly impacted your life? I mean, as a U.S. citizen. Because in my coverage, all I've noticed in the past 3 months or so is an intense focus on people that are not citizens as in undocumented migrants via the southern border. Typically those of the Latino descent, Hispanic folks. See, so now they're trying to group you in with them in order to keep you engaged in some extent. And some of you are falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Oh, then they send Rickey. They desperate when they send Rickey Smiley because he is not a spokesperson for anything.
All of our rights is at risk right now.
He gonna make up some shit. Rickey don't know what Rickey talking about. Rickey don't believe Rickey. Why would you believe him? The saddest thing I saw today was this post and likes under it. It should have been a bunch of laughing emojis under it like this. The one with the tears coming out, that's all I should have saw. I should not saw a single thumbs up on this shit. Rickey is dumb than a box of rocks. I'm saying, man. I'm just being honest. I liked him when he was dressed up as grandma at church. Can we go back to old Rickey with corny jokes, but can we go back to him doing little little Daryl with snot coming out his nose? Can we go back there when he's ashy, had the stuff on his nose, and I want some milk. Can we go back to that? Why you gotta pretend to know what you're talking about politically? Why we gotta do this, Rickey Smiley? You go back to singing church songs, wearing a skirt like you was doing, Rickey. What happened to you? Be old, Rickey. Be like Steve Harvey. Shut up and go back to doing what you're doing. You know, be like Dave Chappelle. Go back and just tell Joe. Go back to doing you. Man.
That whole Make America Great Again, as far as this administration and the way he is going and the way things are going. And when they say great again, that means your ass don't have no rights.
Rickey don't know. Your ass don't have no rights. He did a live stream. He ain't said a damn thing. Boy, them boomers, man. It's got to be boomers. Gen X, I bet you some of y'all involved, man. And I'm going to take out Gen X card, man. For real. For real, this is what we doing. This right here. This is it.
If you go and watch Joy Reid videos, if you get an opportunity to watch Joy Reid videos, go watch them.
Why? To be lied to by a loser?
You'll learn a lot. Especially.
You ain't learned nothing, Rickey. You learned we in trouble. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, we in trouble. We ain't got no rights. We ain't got no rights. We ain't got no rights. We in danger. We in danger now. Oh, we our lives are in danger. We under attack. Rickey Smiley is an embarrassment, but you know, man, it's a system, man. He ain't doing it, but trying to stay relevant in a system that's garbage. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to. I mean, I feel bad. Him and DL Hughley, man, these brothers lost their mind, man. It's a shame. It really is. It's a shame what they have been willing to do with themselves. You know, it is disgusting. Yep. Next. Can't fix stupid.
Her video on slavery.
Lord have mercy.
Why can't they do it to everybody else?
Listen.
Without scared. It might be a point where we might have to pack up our families and leave, because if ICE can get immigrants or whatever.
Undocumented immigrants, you moron. People that are not citizens of this country, who are here illegally, who are trespassing effectively. How was that the same thing as people that were born here? And you know what, guys? I'm going to say this, man. Why aren't you saying they can't do this to white people? Yeah, if you're saying they can reject and revoke citizenship of black Americans, why aren't you saying they can't do it? Why aren't you suggesting that they wouldn't do the same thing to white Americans? Why are you making it as if white Americans would not be subjected to this so-called arbitrary just yanking up and throwing citizens out, this kidnapping that y'all call it, and throwing it concentration camp? Why aren't you saying white people this can't happen to white people? See, this is a disgusting thing about the Democratic Party, man. These people are diabolical. They are fiendish. They are devils, man. I'm trying to tell you. Why aren't they pointing out that these Italians and these Swedish Americans, these people that came through Ellis Island from European countries, Why aren't you saying that these people cannot have their citizenship revoked? Why aren't you saying that? Why aren't you saying it? Why aren't you suggesting white people could be subjected to this? Because you only are trying to scare black people. If you're saying we don't have rights, why aren't you saying white people don't have rights? Why aren't you including white people? And if you're going to go to white people, why aren't you saying Asian people don't have rights? Get what I'm saying? Like, why aren't you being even-handed in your scare tactics? Because you know that black people are more vulnerable to this type of bullshit, right? You understand what I'm saying? Never again anybody should question why I call out the Democratic Party. They are diabolical, and they focus their attention on scaring black folks. And they use dummies like Steve Harvey, like Rickey, Tricky Smiley. They use him. A buffoon. Wearing women's dresses, women's drawers, made his name wearing women's hats. They use him to do it.
And just go and get them, and without their due process in court.
They were already due process in court when their visas expired. They were already due processed when they came over the border without having their paperwork in order. When they did not go through a port of entry, they were already. When they overstayed their temporary status. You understand what I'm saying? That's the end of due process. Sort of like you, Rickey. If you don't renew your license and it expires, when they pick you up, they do what, Rickey? They lock your punk ass up. That's what they did. They take that church hat off your head and throw your ass in the cell, and you got a court date and go to jail or whatever. But see, if you're not supposed to be here, they just send you back to your country. Get it? You get it.
Why can't they do it to everybody else? Now they're doing it to Haitians.
Haitians, Venezuelans, a lot of people. We covered it on this show. Instead of watching Joy Reid, you should watch the Tim Black Show, because you would know there's like 9 countries. It's like 9 countries that had the temporary status. And actually, it hasn't even been revoked. That's not till September. See, Rickey doesn't know anything. Rickey's a goofy who doesn't even know that the temporary status is not up yet. They got a couple more months, Rickey. But see, you are already in scare mode. You're already trying to scare everybody. You got a bunch of older Americans, mostly black Americans, let's be real. Not a lot of white people watch Rickey Smiley. We don't know that it hasn't even begun yet. Yeah?
And who do you think is next?
I don't know. Cambodians, Bolivians, I don't know. Not us, dummy. Not us. Why? Because we are American citizens, Rickey. American citizens. These people don't even want us, black Americans, to value. We ain't got much in this world. You know? We don't have much. But we are American citizens in America. That's something. And they want to take that, these globalists, devils, they want to take that from us. The only thing that black Americans have is that we are black Americans. We are black Americans and help build this country. That's what we did. This is a humongous thing to help build this mighty country of what it is. All the problems, everything that it has. This is the only place you can really call home is the place you were born in. That your parents were born in. You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to let a goofy like Rickey Smiley, who 6 months ago was fighting over who was going to be the road that Cat Williams had it. I was supposed to have it. Now, he's turned into Mr. Political Take. And now because some people that had temporary status have an end date on that status that had been extended and extended and extended and extended. You know, temporary meant temporary. I don't know what world people live in with something that's temporary. Temporary is supposed to end. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm temporarily going to stay here, or I'm temporary, I'm a temp, when they say, okay, your last day is today or this week, I don't go, what? I was temporary. Anybody ever had a temporary job? You ever had a temporary job? You ever worked as a temp? Or every temporary position doesn't turn into a permanent slot. Sometimes temporary positions meant temporary. Temporary for you, temporary for them. Meanwhile, you're looking for a permanent job. You go to the temp place, you get the money, you get the thing, you learn something, maybe you don't, and you leave. Then that under the obligation to create a permanent slot for your ass. But see, these common, obvious realities and facts go on deaf ears when you talk to the shills. The Democratic Party shills, they cannot wrap their heads around common concepts. They know in the real world with American citizens, when we have temporary jobs, that they don't last forever. Now, then you would apply for the permanent job, not the temporary job. Okay? But instead of accepting reality, we got to make up a bunch of bullshit. Democratic Party has nothing else. That's all they have. They have nothing to offer Black Americans. They are doing nothing for Black Americans. They don't give a shit about Black Americans. They have moved on past Black Americans. The only thing they can do now is try to group you with the people that they care about so that they can make it seem like they kind of care about you still, but they don't. If you are holding on to that, if that's all you got, come on over here to Tim Black Show. Recognize that being an independent voter is the only leverage you will have. And let's talk about what we're going to do with our leverage of what we do have. How are we going to utilize that? How are we going to spend that? You cannot spend it being fooled and lied to by people like Rickey Smiley, Amanda Shields, and Joyless Reed. All right, guys. Tina Hornbuckle says, our people are more citizens of America than any other race in this island, Johnson, in this land, Johnson. I agree with that 3,000%, Johnson, if that was possible. I do agree with that. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Speaking some sense. Some sense. Woo. We got people here. We got a troll account in the joint. Shout out to McCoy Perry. Peace and love, Black Mamba. McCoy Perry, what's up, fam? Thank you for being a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack. That's what we'll do. My brother said, Tim, don't be in here. Tim, you got me laughing, my Linda Valentine. Thank you for being a member. Join us as a member. My friend Linda Valentine. Where Popo Paneo at? Where you at, fam? Mr. Ken says, rant. I'm trying to, Johnson. Don't worry, I got another segment. I know it's gonna make that happen. Spice Radio up in the building. He may not be FBA. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Spice Radio 504. Good to see you, my friend. Pop. What up, my brother? How you feeling, fam? Pop is in the building, man. Pop is in the building. My brother, my brother, my brother. AT is in the building. Thank you, AT, for supporting the Tim Black Show. Let's keep it going, guys. Folks, let's keep it going. Oh, Rickey and Smiley. Tricky Rickey.
And he don't give a in everything. Military. The Trump administration defined federal judges, court orders and stuff. Because what's going to happen? They can't put him in jail. He has control of the military. What's going to happen? If he defy a court order, he's the president. Right?
Why would he do? You know what? If that's the case, you need to shut up before he deport your ass. Yeah. Hey, let's go the other way. Since we can't talk no sense into the senseless. Yeah, won't you and DL shut the hell up before you get deported? Yeah, he gonna throw you out of the country. That's right. Why are you still talking? If Trump is gonna do all this shit you say, why are you still talking? If Trump can put you in a concentration camp, why are you still talking? You spineless backup dancers for the Commodore's backup dancer looking motherfucker. Why are you still talking? You know what I'm saying? You like Bootsy Collins weed roller man. That's what you did. You probably told him, but Bootsy Collins, your job was to roll his weed and open doors for him. Yo. If all see here's the funny thing, guys. Look, check it out. If all this stuff that they're saying was true, why do you think him and Amanda Shields are still talking? If they really believed it, wouldn't they shut up? Because you know they're not trying to get thrown in the concentration camp. Right? Think about what I'm saying. Or you think Rickey is courageous. No, he's just dumb. And he a liar. See what I'm saying? They are full of it, Johnson. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They are full of it. Let's keep going, man. We got a couple more things to get to. I think I've spent too much time on Rickey.
What's the consequence of somebody doing something to you?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Now, some Democrats, amid the criticisms of ICE right now due to these ICE raids, have started calling for defunding ICE. Do you think that's effective going into the midterms, and do you support those calls?
Well, I definitely think that, we need aggressive oversight as it relates to the overly aggressive behavior that we've seen, from ICE, from the Department of Homeland Security. It's not what the American people actually, in my view, voted for. Yeah. Donald Trump and Republicans promised to go after violent felons. But instead, they're going after law-abiding immigrant families. And in fact, in some cases, deporting American citizens and children, some with cancer. America is better than this. And that's the reality. In terms of what House Democrats stand for, we believe that in this country, you work hard and you play by the rules. You should be able to experience the American dream. You should be able to afford to live the good life.
Next,
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, folks, I gotta correct the record here on Mr. Hakeem Shilfries. Mr. Hakeem, first of all, what we are addressing here is obvious contradictions of what you're saying. First of all, Jeffries, they didn't have to deport an American citizen with cancer. They deported his mom. And the mom could have decided that the child stayed in the country with the dad because the dad was an American citizen. But she wanted instead to take the child with her. She could have kept the child here in America because the child is an American citizen. The mother is not. You got the story wrong. No one at the table felt to correct you or speak up and correct the record and allow you to be a liar. That's what they did. But I would not allow that on my watch. No, if you are undocumented here and you do not have status to be in this country, you can get deported. This has always been the way it was. This is not new. Not new. This is not a new phenomenon. That's something that wasn't done under Democratic presidents. Obama famously deported a number of people who became what was called as the deporter-in-chief, not because he deported axe murderers from El Salvador. He also deported people that were undocumented. And I remember you, Hakeem Jeffries. I think you were a young, up-and-coming congressperson at the time. I don't remember you calling him Hitler. In fact, I don't remember you doing much of anything. I don't remember The View doing much of anything or having anything to say or really even focusing segments on it. Because it was, not the Democratic talking points to actually talk about what was happening. But yeah, it's been illegal to be undocumented in this country, and happens all the time. And I like to compare it to any other crime we have to operate certain businesses that require licenses. You may be subject to being, being apprehended, or maybe subject to, that's what happens to American citizens all the time. Having a warrant, I equate it to having a warrant. And there are American citizens that understand what having a warrant is. They understand that having a warrant may mean you may get arrested. Why is that something so very simple for Americans to wrap their heads around? They understand that. Why is it so difficult for you guys to accept that for the undocumented non-citizens? American citizens get arrested for having warrants all the time. That's your due process that you had a warrant. If you don't come back to court, which many of them do not have not come back to court, but when they do come back to court, if their stay has expired, they get escorted out of the country. I understand you're upset about it. I get it. It's the only way that you will have any chance of having power again in this country is through undocumented folks. Lord knows black people have pretty much abandoned you, at least a large amount of black people. Never enough, in my opinion. More black people need to leave the Democrat Party alone. But they're in a rock and a hard place, guys. That's all they got. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's sad. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll get lucky and find $20 under a seat cushion or something, because they damn sure done lost the black vote. Well, a substantial amount of black vote. So now the only opportunity they have is to attract non-citizens, and that's what Biden did it. So when people say, why did Biden leave that border open? It was to give the Democrats an opportunity to have a shot in 2028. and I think Trump is trying to undo that. Yeah, Johnson. Let's keep going, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, folks. Oh, this video is hilarious. This is damn it. Here we go. I'm going to see how long I can stick with this video here. Because this lady's going to talk about why she supports getting rid of ICE and why she supports the undocumented people in the country. Let's go.
With Tim Black.
Why was it so important for you to show up here today?
Well, as you know, the 4th of July is all about a celebration of being free from the tyrant king. Well, now we got somebody trying to be a tyrant king, and he's trying to sign this bill in today and everything like that.
And he's trying to sign this bill in today and everything like that. Yeah. Oh, you mean regular business that's done under every president? Okay, I get it. Went through Congress. This actually, talking about the big beautiful bill. This is a typical process. Went through the House, went through the Senate, and now it's to its desk for signature. That's it.
And also, I really feel bad for the immigrants. I really feel bad that they're being taken by ICE and bounty hunters. And after I saw that little lady that LA Tacos was showing, it just made me cry.
Yeah, she had to cry because an undocumented person was being apprehended. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know how stupid can be.
Made me cry to find out that the fact that, oh my God, you know, she's not a criminal. She's not a rapist.
Yeah, there's other crimes besides rapist. You know, being here, you know, in that, you know, being in a country where you're, you know, where you are not, you're a non-citizen and you don't have your paperwork in order. You know, the same thing happens in Mexico, man. I just covered this yesterday. They want Americans out who don't even have to have visas. Yeah, they can stay. You can say American can, you know, in Mexico you can stay there 6 months without a visa, and they're trying to throw Americans out regardless because they're just upset with them taking over the economy, them taking up housing, for instance. This is not just an American-born problem. Like, all countries have rules. That's the biggest thing. That all countries have rules.
And you're grabbing her. She's like a little grandma, and it just really hurt me. And I just really break. I live in the Silmar.
Yeah, they, you know, about 10% of those in federal custody right now in our prisons are over the age of 75. She don't give a shit. There's a lot of grandmas and grandpas in jail right now over the age of 75. Right now, I covered that yesterday. 10% of our prison population is 75 years or older. She believes, oh no, I saw one Latino lady who was undocumented being sent to a detention center in lieu of going back to her home country. This is equated to Gestapo tactics, like some Nazi stuff. And it's just unrealistic, you know? They would do the same thing in Sweden, in Australia, in Germany, and worse. Okay? But these crybaby ass liberals don't want the laws to be followed because they want these people to do work for them.
Area, there's usually vendors down my street that I go to work. I'm rarely seeing any vendors anymore.
Absolutely. I know you have a
Yeah, I rarely see any vendors anymore. So I can buy cheap shit off of them.
message that you want to send. You have a sign here. Tell me, what is your message that you're hoping to get out there for elected?
All of my outrage can't fit on this sign. That means you have no point.
Officials or anyone watching this?
Well, there's so much I'm enraged about right now.
I'm enraged too. I'm enraged of that goofy ass hat. I'm enraged of your lame talking points that don't make any sense, your scatterbrainness, you know, and your gaslighting, your holier than thou bullshit. I'm enraged about that, but I'm not gonna see no reason to get animated about it.
That it didn't fit on my board, so this is something that I decided to go with. You know, there's too much that I have rage about that I couldn't fit on my board. It's everything. It's, you know, the Republicans that 13 of them were about saying no, and then all of a sudden, boom, they flipped and they voted. I mean, I am proud of those two Republicans.
Hey, man, why are you interviewing her, brother? Like, what is the point? She's an obvious moron. Like, at some point, you got to cut your losses and realize you're talking to somebody who doesn't have anything to add to the conversation, that doesn't necessitate an interview. You shouldn't be talking to her. Move on. Jesus Christ, man. I can't even take her down. She's so far down already.
Republicans that did stand up for their constituents and Americans. And I'm really proud of all the Democrats that stood up yesterday.
Oh my God, she's proud the Democrats stood up for what? Oh, being out of power and throwing a hissy fit. Oh, that's great. That's exactly what we needed. That changed things dramatically, man. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, do something that means nothing, and at least you did something. Yeah, put on a show. Let's put on a show. You can't fix stupid, man.
I mean, every single one voted no. And Hakeem Jeffries, I'm so proud of him. He's going to be a great leader, you know, for the Speaker of the House. I really believe that soon.
Flush the toilet. Flush the toilet. She's one of them turds that came back. She's one of them turds that came back when you flush the toilet, man. It happens. Listen, man. just when you think you heard the most crazy, radical, stupid stuff. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries is promising is got to be one of the biggest whoppers I heard in a long time, man. Like that right there, that's a big ad. Woo! She actually believes that. Hakeem Jeffries don't even believe that. All right, guys. Next, we're getting to the end of it. Yeah, I saw this is like a bonus ending. Before we get to this, guys, before we get to this, you are now watching the Tim Black Show. My name is Tim Black, of course. We do this 5 days a week, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Be here. Join us. What I'm looking to do, like, okay? We're almost at 200,000. Yeah, we're almost at 200,000. Do you hear me, Johnson? I've never been at 200,000 on YouTube before. In fact, this is my largest platform. We're about 150,000 on Facebook. So this is my largest platform. And I want to celebrate the 200,000 mark when we get there. I'm going to give out free stuff. I want to do a giveaway, right? I want to hook up the people that have been standing behind me, supporting this show all this time. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Become eligible for free shit. That's all I can say. Become eligible for free stuff. Join us here on YouTube or on Patreon. Tim's Take Live, or go to jointimblack.com. It's coming. I say in a couple days, maybe 3 days, we'll be there. Buck says we should schedule it. There'll be a certain day and time when we do it. I'm trying to still figure out how to do it, but I want to make the announcement. I will be giving away free stuff, okay? I would like to do that, give that free stuff to the Tim Black Wolfpack for having my back. That's right. So become a member of the Tim Black Show. If you've been wondering if you should pull the trigger, let me say yeah. Let me see if I can nudge you in that direction, because I would like to give you free stuff in celebration of this channel reaching 200,000 subscribers. The hard way, the honest way. All right? All right. All right now. I don't know what I got over here. All right, guys. Last but not least, as I was getting ready for the show today, I saw who was going live. And sometimes I look and see who else is live. And I saw Afro Elite was live. I said, okay, that brother's live. And then I saw that Lamont Shield was live. Now, I would call him Dr. Lamont, Mark Lamont, Dr. Hill. But guys, when I saw this, I say, damn it, I was trying, like, I don't want to be like, I don't think it's really helpful to be calling people out all the time, but God, Johnson. The display of what I saw with Mark Lamont Shield and Joyless Reed in this clip, I don't know what else to call it. I don't know what else. Look, let's do this together. Let's take a look at this clip. Mark Lamont Shield, Joyless Reed on his YouTube channel just before I went live. Here's what it is. You can't make this shit up.
And things started here at 9:30. They're then going to
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Cult around Trump. And in order for the cult to wrap itself around you, you have to literally be Donald Trump. And look, it's not the same, but I will say that, like, when I was doing elections, I did 2, elections in Florida, and then observed another 2. If Barack Obama himself was on the ballot, whole different electorate. People come out, they will stand in line for 18 hours.
Listen to this. Sometimes you have to be smart enough to strategize and see toxic people like Trump, even when you don't like the other choice. Are you suggesting maybe you don't like Kamala Harris? What about policy-wise? Yeah, see, this is Mark Lamont's channel, The Night School. And most of the people responding, I'm thinking that they're the Mark Lamont Hills people. Let's keep going, Johnson.
Vote for this man.
Right.
You know, anybody else, they're not going to come. You know, because there is just an Obama voter that it will only vote when Obama is on the ballot and will not vote even below the ballot. They will not vote down ticket, just Obama. Trump has those kind of voters. They are dedicated to him personally. They care more about him being happy than them being happy. They care more about him having what he wants than them having what they want. They will give up their health care. They will let their daughters be destroyed. They will let their families be destroyed. They will do, there's nothing he can do. He can drown them in Texas. He can take away their FEMA. He can do anything he wants to them. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a cult. And JD Vance, with his lack of charisma, he's just an act.
Let's stop right there, Johnson, because this is a good place to jump off. Listen, she just got through saying that both Trump and Obama had some similar characteristics when it comes to supporters. That Obama supporters would do exactly what Trump supporters do, which is only come out because Obama was on the ballot. And when he wasn't on the ballot, they didn't come out. They wouldn't even vote down ballot, even though they were sitting right there. But see, for some reason, she says it's the Trump voters that are in a cult. It doesn't admit the Democrats are in a cult. You don't think that's what that will be called? I think if both are doing the same activity, that when you badger one, you'd have to apply it evenly to the other side. You would think that someone like Mark Lamont Shield would, you know, mention that, but of course he won't. Hence my frustration with him. Then she just blamed Trump for floods. He didn't cause a flood, Goofy. He didn't do it. What happened to when there was a fire in L.A. and people were blaming, you know, Karen Bass? You said it was wrong to blame Karen Bass, who went on a trip during fire season, and there was a fire, and the hydrants didn't fucking work. And I had Democrats saying, you can't blame her. She is a Latino black woman. She has more responsibility and more ownership of what happened in LA than Trump did about what happened in Texas. But she just sat there and said, they'll vote for Trump, even though it's causing them to be drowning in Texas. She also said they're wanting to get rid of their health care. Folks, there are some people that are able-bodied that need to go to work. I do believe that. I don't believe everybody who's on this system doesn't need to work. Some people do need to work, and our system needs to be calibrated to facilitate that. I don't think people should be so accustomed to being on a system that that's all they have. And I think the system creates barriers, makes it harder for people to get off it when the only incentive is to stay on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not good. I'm not saying Trump's policies are great, but I'm saying our system sucks to begin with. To not acknowledge we have a foolish system to begin, like off the break, that to me is a problem. And when we talk about healthcare, oh, come on, Johnson. You know, I was one of the people fighting for us to get universal basic healthcare, like a universal coverage for everyone, okay? Because I believe people should be able to have healthcare. But that Obamacare was garbage, man. It was written by the Heritage Foundation under Mitt Romney in Massachusetts, who's a Republican. You guys don't remember that? I know you do, Mark Lamont Shield. So you get what I'm saying? There were people that lost their health care when Obamacare was implemented because it was so expensive that they would choose to not have it and pay the penalty because they could not afford it. There were people that were priced out due to that Obamacare shit. But Joanne Reed acts like those people don't exist. Yeah, and there are undocumented people that we should not be paying for. I'm sorry. Should not pay for them. Why you would think people would want to pay for them is ridiculous. Why would we want to pay for non-citizens? We got people that don't want to pay for citizens to have health care. Why do you think anybody would cry a river for people non-citizens being afforded free health care in the country? Not that they're visiting. It's different when you go to a country and you visit and something happens traumatic and you need health care. We're talking about people that broke their way into the country who overstayed visas or came here through a non-authorized port and then get health care too. Come on, man. So these are just some of the ridiculous nature of what their conversation was about.
Asshole. He has no personality. He's the personality of destroy. They will do.
I'm sorry, folks. Joy and Reed to call anybody no personality and being an asshole. I mean, come on, Joy. I mean, even you have to realize you are an asshole. I mean, it may be intentional, but to pretend that J.D. Vance is the only asshole here.
Nothing he can do. He can drown them in Texas. He can take away their FEMA. He can do anything he wants to them. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a cult. And J.D. Vance, with his lack of charisma, he's just an asshole. He has no personality. He's the person.
Look at Mark. See, this is what I'm talking about, Mark. First of all, his t-shirt. His t-shirt is bullshit. The future is black and feminist. See, this is unhelpful. This is unhelpful shit right here. That's what that is.
Personality of Ron DeSantis. So no, there's no one else who can run the cult. But the problem is there's the cult, and then there is just this propensity among white voters to vote for any Republican and to create a adherence to any Republican because they just hate Democrats.
Yo, here goes something, Johnson. I like to add in here. You don't think it's cult-like activity for Black Americans to hate Republicans? Yeah. You don't think it's cult-like activity for, I mean, she kind of opened up the door, man. I got to say, you don't think it's cult-like activity for so many Black Americans to fall into this thing where they can only vote Democrat? I think more white Americans vote Democrat than Black Americans vote Republican, right? See what I'm saying? How the tether babble gets a little disconcerting and a little bothersome, a little troublesome, a little unhelpful even. The hypocrisy gets a little bit too high. The hypocrisy becomes a monstrosity. Get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to say, like, I'm trying to wake Black America up, like, leave this party alone. But when you listen to somebody like Joy Reid, who has all this criticism for Trump supporters or for Republicans, what about Democrats? But see, Democrats. See what I'm saying? It's all hypocrisy. It's all it don't make sense. If you try to make sense out of it, then you either wake up or you have to lie to yourself. Because it don't make sense for us to be voting 90 to 9. Black people vote 90% Democrat. It went a little bit lower because black men was like, screw this, we ain't voting for Kamala. She's horrible. So it dropped to like 80s, high 80s. But no other group does that. No other group votes like that. And it's only okay to Joy V because she's a shield. And of course to Mark Lamont's shield. Right? What good is it to say, I voted Green Party? What good is it to say, I believe in Palestine, if at the end of the day, you entertain and curry water for the Democrats? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? How is it different? It's just some stupid bragging rights you get to throw around when it's convenient for you and whenever you're being criticized and questioned. Then you pull this out. Well, I supported Jill Stein, or I supported Cornel West, or I supported this, I supported that. But at the end of the day, you play lapdog for Joanne Reid, a humongous shield for the Democratic Party. No pushback whatsoever. Only co-signing, head nodding, and laughing. Hey, I'm not a DeSantis fan. I'm not an Andrew Gillum fan either. Okay? I mean, need we say more?
And they don't care who the Ted Cruz, no one likes Ted Cruz, but they'll vote for him
No one likes Ted Cruz, but he keeps winning. Guess who likes Ted Cruz? Texas. Texas likes Ted Cruz. Know who they don't like? Beto O'Rourke. Yeah. Yeah, Beto O'Rourke don't like. You know, no one likes Lindsey Graham except North Carolina, right? South Carolina. South Carolina likes him because they didn't choose Jamie Harrison's punk ass. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you kind of make yourself look like a fool. Jamie Harrison he lit money on fire. Jamie Harrison set the record for the most amount of money lost in a Senate race. Just wasted. His only backstory was, my mama black and we was single mom. That's it. That's all. Nothing else to see here. That's what he ran on. And gosh darn it, he lost. Andrew Gillum, who you just got through shitting on DeSantis, Florida governor, he's termed out. His person running against him, Andrew Gillum, found him passed out in a hotel room with a bunch of male prostitute. And what I'm saying here is the Democrats don't seem better. In fact, in a lot of ways, it seemed worse. They seem worse. They seem worse. They seem worse, folks, because in a lot of ways, they are worse. And then you get dummies like this person here saying, two brilliant minds. We have a problem, Johnson. We have a problem. We got people that believe dumb things. Joanne Reed knows better, but she's a liar. She's a Democratic Party liar. Just like the Republicans got to be Republican Party liars. You don't think Sean Hannity and these other people, and Tucker Carlson, these people lie too. Megyn Kelly. Come on, guys. But what I'm saying is, if you have only smoke for Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, if you only have smoke for them because they're Republicans, then you're missing out on all the other people that need smoke. Everything that she has said on this camera in this video so far is full of everything. She hasn't said a single honest thing. And Mark Lamont Hill let her do it. Sat right there. Sat right there with his feminist shirt on, knowing that shit ain't help black women at all. At all. It hurt black women, if anything. And he's wearing that shirt probably because there's little scraps with Melissa Ford. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm married to a black woman. Yeah, so am I. But I do not do that shit. What about this shit over here? Mark Lamont here be the first one to say I'm married to a black woman and I help open up a black bookstore and yada, 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 yada. But you over here caping with this liar right here because she's powerful shield lady. She ain't no better than Neera Tanden. She is no better than Neera Tanden. And Neera Tanden is horrible. Oh, God. Jesus. So I'm looking for a little bit of consistency out of the people that are critical of corruption and critical of horrible parties and critical of Americans falling in line, and part of that is calling out Democrats and calling out Republicans. If you can say Ted Cruz is horrible, you should be able to say Jamie Harrison was just as horrible. Beto O'Rourke, even worse. This guy jumping up on desk, acting like he's training to be Matthew McConaughey's understudy. Come on, man. All the money that guy wasted. Jesus Christ. I mean, guys, folks, the problem is, some of us have long memories. We've been around more than 2 seconds, and we know the Democrats have been full of shit for quite some time. Let's keep going. We're almost done here, Tim Black.
Day of the week, because he is not a Democrat, and they don't care what he does to them. So that's my problem. It's not the cult. The cult will be gone. The worship of Trump will be gone, but that doesn't mean that 60% of white voters won't vote for the next god-awful Republican president.
And unfortunately, I assume 90% of black Americans will vote for the god-awful Democrat. And that's my problem. And I do not align myself, nor do I feel like I share space with people like Mark Lamont Hill who wouldn't see that as a problem, because that is definitely a problem. That's a problem for us. And up until Biden ushered in 10 million and 12 million undocumented people that he's trying to keep in this country to get them to vote in Democrat, we may have had an opportunity of getting rid of the Democrats. We may have had an opportunity of actually creating a third party in this country. And part of shooting that in the foot is what Biden did. And people like Mark Lamont Hill won't say a mumbling word. Make sure to hit the like button.
So what's the answer here? I mean, Democrats occasionally are able to put forward someone who can be successful, but it often comes at the expense of truly progressive policy. How do we find a way to...
I can't do it anymore. That's enough. That's enough, Mark Lamont Hill. That's enough. Hey, look, folks, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we have two corrupt parties. That's what we have. Yep, that's the deal. We got two corrupt parties. Both parties suck, Johnson. It ain't just a t-shirt. It's a true belief. It's reality. Both parties take money from pharmaceutical industry. Military-industrial complex runs both of them. This is reality. For Joanne Reed to pretend that there is not cultish behavior in the Democratic Party, I mean, she has no credibility at all. If you ever gave her any, take it back, please. It is what it is. I'm disappointed in Mark Lamont Hill because I want to cease having to criticize people. And like I said, man, smart guy. And that's bad for him because when you're as smart as Mark Lamont Hill is, when you're shilling like this, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It is problematic that the Democrats have such a stranglehold on the black community. We got to help free ourselves. And we can't count on people like Mark Lamont Hill to help. Joanne Reed, we know she was never going to be a help. One of the biggest propagandists in the business. Notorious gaslighter and perpetrator of bullshit. But when given the opportunity, the least you could do is give some pushback on something. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Hit the like button. My name is Tim Black, and this is the Tim Black Show. Black Mamba gave me a super sticker. Thank you, Black Mamba, for your support. AT hit me up with a super sticker as well. Thank you, my friend. Elizabeth Looney says, great show, Tim. Thank you. Thank you. Ursa says, they're illegal. They had no papers. They say they're entitled to due process. It's the law. And that's what they say. That's what they say. I know. Joy Reid is a super shield. She is super shield. She's a super shield. Shield extraordinaire. My brother, my brother, my brother. Trenton Makes. Chris Barber said, thanks, homie. Thank you, homie. I appreciate you, fam. Harry C. Up in the building. Welcome to it all. Like important, guys. WD. We need to keep promoting their voters, evaluate and dissect all messages from all politicians and learn some history too. Yes, that's all I'm saying, man. I'm not saying you definitely positively would never vote Democrat. Local politicians in your districts, you know what I'm saying? You got to evaluate, but don't be off-put. Don't decide the Republican's evil without seeing what that Republican is about. Without checking it out, without looking at the policies. Because at the end of the day, what impacts your life, Johnson. Make the choice best for you. We got to get over the cult-like behavior that so many Black Americans display when it comes to Democrats. Instead of being Joy Reid and saying, white people keep voting Republican, I'm saying Black people stop. We're saying the same thing with the opposite. But one of us is praised and given millions upon millions of dollars to do it. And the other is blackballed by the same people he's trying to help. which one's doing the Lord's work. Hint, he's wearing a hat. Man, thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Hannibal Reed up in the Herschel Reed up in this joint. El Negro Hotep is in the building. Ronaldo McCall, hit the like button, Tim Back Real. No, you know it, Bam. You know what's up. I tell you, man. It was just too big to ring, and they couldn't steal it this time. FAFO, there it is. There it is, fam. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Real talk, man. Thank y'all for being here, man. We'll be back Wednesday. You know we don't do Tuesday. It's like a housekeeping day. I will be putting content out. Remember, become a member. Because joining the Tim Black Wolf Pack, $5 a month. That's it, a month, not $5 a day. $5 a month. It's very doable. I got to question your commitment to independent media if you can't do $5 a month. I'm just keeping it honest with you. I'll be busting my ass over here working. Do this, guys. Go to jointimblack.com, become a member. I'll see you on the other side. I got nothing but love for you. I got your back. I wish you nothing but peace and joy. A friend of mine says, a friend, it was an old saying, a true friend is somebody who wants for you the same thing they want for themselves. That's what I want for you. May we all prosper. May we all find peace. I got nothing but love for you. Like I always say, don't let nobody take your cornbread, Johnson. You better keep your cornbread. What you looking like giving your cornbread up? Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, my moderators, Ebony, Black Mamba, and the one and only Buck Bewley. Sleep tight. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. And as always, where my ladies at? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.